hear these contentious cats primed for battle.
He's releasing a line of merchandise saying, I'm cashing in on hoism.
He's won as many Oscars as Leo, too.
What the hell, Campbells? Andy Warhol didn't die for this.
Because for these women, their butts really are their moneymakers.
Will be a memorable movie for years to come.
I had to let that one go a little longer just to wail on her for a little bit.
Have you ever heard of that city? I haven't.
Welcome back to another hot edition of Ames Tonight. As always, I am the Laurel Feeks, your cool co-host.
And of course, I am Megan Moran, your cool co-host, Trap King.
We have a fun show planned for you guys, but first we have to talk about, of course, the election. So Megan, let's get this going.
All right, you know, Trump definitely made history, and it's insane for many reasons. He's behind in the polls, he was not predicted to win by any margin, and to top it all off, he has no political or military background, which is just crazy to me.
You're definitely right. For so many reasons, Trump has made history. I know I'm not the only one who is trying to still wrap their mind around this outcome.
I completely thought that it was just going to be so easy and Clinton was just going to win without a doubt.
I don't think anyone could have predicted this outcome. Major news outlets are even baffled as to how they got it wrong. So it just goes to show that this was completely unexpected by a lot of people.
And you know, Clinton's concession speech was beautiful and inspiring. It was very heartbreaking to watch for so many people. And she even opened her speech with apologizing to her supporters for not winning. And if that isn't the most womanly thing to do, I don't know what is.
I don't think there was a dry eye in that room while she was speaking. It must have been one of the hardest speeches to give since she has been a public servant her entire life. But it just didn't work out for her, and that's okay. It's been a really hard time for some people, and everyone handles things differently. So we have some kind words to the Clinton and Trump supporters to keep in mind before you might want to say something that could possibly offend someone.
You know, these last few days have been very emotional, I think, for everyone, whether you're a Trump or a Clinton supporter. But before you tell someone to shut up about the election or stop crying because of the results, it's just pathetic. Just ask yourself, could my words possibly offend someone right now? Am I going to be affected in the same way that the person I'm telling to say these things to is? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and you can't tell someone that they're wrong, that their opinion is wrong. Recognizing that you have privilege is so important in times like these. You might not be directly affected by some of these situations, but guess what? So many people are. Nothing hurts more than telling people that they don't matter, because simply not recognizing your privilege, I will never understand how fearful other people are in this country, because I don't have to be. So if you don't understand it or it doesn't affect you, you don't get to tell someone to stop crying or to get over it. And now we have our very own Andrea Zafar, former Ames Tonight host, is here to expand a little bit on what it means to have privilege. Take it away, Mr. Zafar.
Thanks, guys. It's good to be back on this show. Just interesting results that we've had in the last few days. Great election special show on ICTV. The following was interesting. Look, minorities, Muslims, black people, brown people, transgender folks in the gay community, they are afraid because a lot of nightmares are becoming realities. And I don't say nightmares like, oh, what an inconvenience, I have to see this person every day, or whatever it is. Nightmares like life-affecting, truly frightening nightmares. Do all American lives matter? Yes, but in the words of Bill Maher, in regards to Black Lives Matter was the context of this, all lives matter? No, it's the wrong phrase, because it implies that all lives are equally at risk, which now more than ever is not the case. It really isn't. I saw some disturbing things on social media after Tuesday. One tweet I read said, my mom literally just texted me, don't wear the hijab, please, and she's the most religious person in their family. That another one, a little more, was posted and it was shared by New York Times writer Sean King. He shared a tweet about a woman who had her hijab pulled off and was threatened by a white woman. Her name is Maha Gawad. She's a Muslim woman. And she said in hers, my first encounter after our new joke of a president, as I am at Walmart today, a woman came up to me and pulled my hijab off and said, this is not allowed anymore. You can go hang this around your neck and not your head. So hang yourself around your neck and not your head. That is what she said. And she said, I am traumatized, end quote. So someone tells you to shut up about the election. Okay, it's hard to do after these incidents, and we as a country have come so far, progressed beyond the barriers of race, religion, sexual orientation, sexual identification, but in so many ways we're moving backward. And as American citizens, as a country for the people, by the people, it's unfortunately and seemingly always clandestinely been for a certain group of people. Mic drop. That's all I had to say. Have fun with y'all's show.
That was very well
Very,
spoken.
very well spoken. Thank you, Andres.
Thanks, Andres.
The most important thing to take away from this is that everyone needs to stay united and be kind to one another. And that can easily be forgotten in times like these. After all, this election has been extremely controversial, and the two candidates could not be more different. The reason that people are so fearful and worried about the about the new president-elect is not because of the man himself, but what his campaign and his message brings to people. There's been a lot of hate surrounding his ideals and beliefs, and people embrace his message of hatred and segregation. That is what scares people. Now that we're starting this new chapter as a country, we need to stay united and not embrace the hatred that is all around us.
I really do want to believe that when Trump says he's going to be a president for all people and not just some, I really want to believe that he's going to have a successful presidency. I mean, wishing that he would not just really doesn't make any sense at this point. We're all in this together now, and it's so important that we stay together. And I don't want to dwell on the negatives for too long because, frankly, each candidate had their flaws, and there's no perfect politician, or I guess in this case, businessman.
Both candidates have their flaws, and I really think that was probably a major role as to why Trump did win the election. People really did not like Clinton and really wanted to keep her out of office and would cast their vote to Trump or third-party candidates. Or a lot of people didn't like either candidate and just simply didn't vote.
That's very true and very sad. All of these candidates could not have been more different, but we're going to end up with one of them. So to me, not voting just doesn't make any sense at this point. By exercising your right not to vote means you're voting for the opposition. Ideally, you would like to have most or all the same beliefs as at least one candidate, but sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way, which is the lesser of two evils, I suppose. Do your civic duty to vote in any election because things can go either way and your vote does count and it does matter.
Another issue I think to why people don't vote is because ultimately the popular vote doesn't matter, which we saw in this election and in the 2000 election with Bush and Gore. It is very uncommon when the electoral and popular vote aren't the same, but we did see it in this election. That can really discourage people from wanting to even vote because in times like these, the popular vote ultimately doesn't matter.
I've seen a lot of petitions going around to abolish the Electoral College because of situations like these. The Electoral College is just outdated, and I'm really not sure why we still use the system, or quite frankly, still are stuck on this whole two-party system. I know we have Green Party and Libertarian Party, but let's be honest, those parties just don't win, and that's a fact.
We've seen so many people across the country upset about the way these results turned out, and last night there were peaceful protests in places like Chicago, D.C., Los Angeles, Denver, and New York. The police in all of the protests just stood aside and let it happen. It's great that people are coming together and that people want to continue fighting for what they believe in.
I really agree. Like we said earlier, people just have to stay united, treat each other with respect, and think before they speak for both sides. This election has taken a toll on almost everyone, so be kind and spread love.
Be kind to your neighbor, watch your words, and stay united. This was a really heavy opening, and we're sorry, but you can get some more laughs with our nightly news anchors. Stay tuned. You're watching Ames Tonight.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back to Ames Tonight. I'm Megan Lutz.
And I'm Ricky Lewis. Thanks for sticking with our cool and fun show. Kansas State University freshman Hunter Jobbins received 6,500 Kit Kats after someone stole the candy bar out of his car. The thief left and scribbled a scribbled note in the car saying, "Saw the Kit Kat in your cup holder. I love Kit Kat, so I checked your door and it was unlocked. Did not take anything other than the Kit Kat, and I'm sorry and hungry." Kit Kat got word of the stolen candy bar and decided to make it up to the student. Kit Kat then filled the student's car with the tasty treat. Jobbins commented that he was angry at first, but after a while he found humor in the note.
It's just 15 days until the revival of the Gilmore Girls TV series. The revival will be on Netflix called Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life. There will be 4 new episodes, each 90 minutes long, titled Winter, Spring, Summer, and Fall. Each of the 4 episodes will represent 1 season in a year. The show will once again be centered around the life of Lorelai and Rory Gilmore, and all 4 episodes will be released November 25th. The real question, though, is, will Rory end up with Logan, Dean, or Jess?
Raven Simone has got some big news. She recently announced on The View that a That's So Raven spinoff is in the works with Disney Channel. The show stopped airing almost 10 years ago in 2007. The show was canceled while the main character Raven was still a teenager, but she comes back to the show as an adult. She will play herself as Raven and take on a new role as a producer this time around. Her character Raven Baxter will be a divorced mother of 2 preteen children, and one of them will carry on the gift of being a sidekick. Disney Channel has not yet released a name for the new show.
Earlier this fall, Snapchat came out with Spectacles, a pair of glasses that allow you to record video and upload it directly to Snapchat. Today, Snapchat has released the product for people to actually buy, but not in any normal way. People at Venice Beach are lining up to purchase their $130 spectacles from a vending machine that looks kind of like a Minion. This is the only spectacles vending machine in operation so far, and it will only be working for 24 hours or until it runs out of product. Do you want to smoke weed legally? Well, so do your fellow Iowa State students. Paul Haddish has more.
College students in the United States are getting more high than any time in the past 36 years. 1980 was the last time statistics of marijuana usage was this high. According to a study done by the University of Michigan, 1 in 17 college students regularly use marijuana 20 or more times every month. With states legalizing marijuana, the growing number of users, and influence from the media, college-age students are becoming more accepting of the drug. Iowa State's activist club, NORML, feels as though the drug has been given a bad rep and it should be more widely accepted.
Hopefully we see it completely legalized throughout all 50 states, but that's a big jump and hope to have because there's a huge war on drugs that there's a lot going on, but hopefully we can get more word out there about medical uses and the good things that marijuana, cannabis can bring to the United States. We hope to just get the word out there about the good uses of marijuana and what it can do for people, and about how it's like grade-wise, it's in grade 1, which is the worst. It's like with meth and like heroin and like it's not in its correct spot, which it's like grade 1 says that it has absolutely no medical use whatsoever, like we can't be tested on in the US, so that's not true, as we know. So our hope is to get words out there, answer questions that people have, like do good. We do a lot of volunteer work.
53% of Americans say that they support marijuana legalization. However, MDMA and cocaine usage among college students has also gone up, which means marijuana could be a gateway to other drugs. ISU's Trenton Main says he thinks safe usage of marijuana can be beneficial.
I think that, like, college is very, very, very stressful, and I think that they could use it to just calm down, just relax. I think eventually it'll be legalized all around. I think it'll take a while, but I think before anything, medically, it'll definitely be in a few years.
For ISU TV, with Paul Haddish, I'm Patrick Lamar.
Were you planning to flee to Canada Tuesday night during the election? Well, try again, because Tuesday night, Americans crashed the Canadian immigration website. There were 200,000 users on the website around 11 p.m. During the election, while Donald Trump was winning the race, Americans not in favor of Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton joked about moving to Canada. Will anyone actually move to Canada? We'll see.
After finding out who the new president will be, many people were very upset and shocked by the news. Shortly after the announcement was made, some people took to popular social media site Tumblr. One user, Hell the Hatter, instead of going on about the election results, posted a long and growing list about all the good things that have happened in 2016. This list ranges from listing the numbers of endangered animal populations to be growing, medical advances, positive environmental changes, Leonardo DiCaprio finally winning an Oscar, puppies, and other good things in everyday life that are still yet to come. People are loving this list of good things that reminds them even though we face hard times, there are still good things.
This year has been undoubtedly the year of the celeb breakups. First, we had Hiddle Swift, Brangelina, and now The Weeknd and Bella Hadid have reportedly called it quits for the second time. The Weeknd, real name Abel Tesfaye, will be performing at the Victoria's Secret fashion show this year. And that's right, little Hadid will be walking. No word yet on what caused the split.
The baby of Rob and Blac Chyna's dreams has finally arrived. Dream Kardashian was born today at 6:40 a.m. at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA. Baby and mom are doing great. Dream is Blac Chyna's second child. She has a son, King Kyra, with rapper Tyga.
And that was your nightly news.
Stay tuned for more Common Man's movie review. You're watching Ames Tonight.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Verde, 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 es tu hogar, es tu ambiente. La prueba de ratón, la salud la protege. Hazlo verde, verde, verde.
El vivir verde es asegurarse que el aire en su hogar es saludable para su familia. Asegúrese de hacer una prueba de radón en su hogar. Es fácil. Para saber más, llame al 866-528-3187. Proteja la salud y el bienestar de su familia. Haga la prueba de radón en su hogar. Eso es vivir de manera saludable y verde.
La prueba de ratón, la salud la protege. Hazlo verde, verde, verde.
La prueba de radón es fácil. Solo llame al 866-528-3187.
Welcome back to Ames Tonight. I'm the Common Man. Marvel Studios is invincible. I've said it once and I just said it again. Their movies may not have the best villains or a storyline that compares to your Oscar movies, but they bring in the box office dollars. In 2014, they made moviegoers fall in love with some space outlaws, including a talking raccoon and a tree that knows 3 words, maybe 4 if you argue for it. In 2015, they made a movie about a shrinking superhero and brought in more money on opening weekend than Spotlight, Best Picture winner in 2015, made overall in U.S. theaters. And in 2016, Marvel has introduced a different kind of hero to its cinematic universe. This is a Common Man's review of Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch brings Dr. Stephen Strange to life, who starts the film as a successful and cocky neurosurgeon in New York. After a car accident severely injures his hands, he spends all of his money trying to restore them with little success. His last hope in trying to heal himself leads him to Nepal, where he meets the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. The Ancient One shows Doctor Strange the ways of the mystic arts, and the rest of the film is Doctor Strange's journey of developing his skills as a sorcerer. This leads him to finding out about some of the dimensional threats to the planet Earth, including Dormammu, an evil spirit in the Dark Dimension, and one of his believers, Caecilius, played by the villain in Casino Royale. As I've said before, with several superhero films being released every year, the key to a successful superhero film is distinguishing itself from the rest. The story for this movie isn't anything new. In fact, it's extremely similar to that of Batman Begins. However, the actors do a good job at making you connect with their characters, especially Cumberbatch. He kind of does a Tony Stark-like job on this film, and Tilda Swinton. And the special effects, boy, do they take you on a trip. Some people might think that there are rip-off scenes from Inception in this film, but I think that's what makes the movie strange. You like that pun, Meredith? Most importantly, this film opens up numerous possibilities within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thor opened up the mythical realm of the Marvel Universe. Guardians of the Galaxy gave viewers a look into the cosmic side, and now Doctor Strange opens the gates to new and interesting places. New and hopefully more menacing threats, and some pretty sweet crossover opportunities. Watch the mid-credits scene to know what I'm talking about. All of this is building towards Avengers Infinity War hitting theaters in 2018, in which all heroes will be needed to fight one of the most powerful villains in the world of Marvel. Doctor Strange. Open your mind and your wallet by buying a ticket to go see this movie. This has been a Common Man's movie review. I'm Jared Calvert, and I'm just a common...
Wait. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Okay. I got my decent outfit on. Nice, sexy haircut. I'm ready. I'm pumped. Let's go. Go.
Ready for what?
What do you think, you stupid idiot? It's time for me to review this movie. I have all my notes and everything. And God, I had such a field day on that stupid blank character.
Oh, sorry to burst your bubble here, bud, but I already did the review.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we're about to hit break right now. Paul's ready to cue me up.
Did you talk about?
Yeah.
How about?
Yep.
And?
Of course.
Even the pub?
It was a given. Oh my gosh. Like I was saying, I'm Jared Calvert, and I'm just a common man in an uncommon land. Stay tuned. More Ames Tonight after this.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Cyclone basketball is bringing Hilton Magic back again tomorrow night.
You mean afternoon, right?
No, the game is at 7. Duh.
But what about... You're not serious. You know what? No, you're out. What if I told you that you could double your Cyclone Magic dosage for the year? Appealing, right? Well, have I got good news for you. Did you know that Iowa State actually has 2 basketball teams? Cyclone women's basketball is one of the most successful teams in the country, reaching 9 straight NCAA tournaments prior to last year. Despite that, I still see way too many Cyclone Alley seats empty at games. Sure, you may not see any dunks, but there's plenty of other excitement to be had. Swats, charges, and three-pointers abound. In fact, they haven't gone a game without making a 3 since February 18th. 1995. Our 3-point streak is older than the WNBA, Kylie and Kendall Jenner, and, of course, the Harry Potter series. Still need more incentive? Sophomore Bridget Carlton is a favorite for the next Canadian Olympic team. The Cyclones have not just Carlton, but 3 new additions to the team from outside the U.S. They could literally put a 5-man lineup on the court with no one hailing from the same country. I admit, I might be a bit biased. If you do end up at a game, you may see a tall blonde on the sidelines that looks suspiciously like me, but with shorter hair and in better shape. My mom has been an assistant here since 2001 when my birthday present was, her going back to work. Don't worry, Mom, I forgive you. Just know from someone on the inside, this staff and the team are some of the hardest workers I've ever seen. This is a comedy show, but I assure you the punchline of the story is not, ha-ha, women's sports. Bottom line, you can get in Hilton for pretty cheap, get a front row seat with little effort, and support your school and classmates. The Cyclones have been a top 4 team in attendance nationally for the past 9 years. Clearly, these 9,000 plus people know what's up. Who wouldn't want to join in on that? Since I know I'm very convincing and you're all ready to pack the next game, the first regular season women's basketball game is tomorrow at noon. Head coach Bill Fenley has kindly put an excuse note on Twitter to get out of any pesky class or work commitments that may pull you away from Hilton. If you really can't make that work, don't worry. My 2 great passions meet Tuesday night in the Harry Potter theme night against you and I. If you don't care about basketball, care about seeing me run around, maybe dressed as the Golden Snitch, maybe crying with joy. That's all we've got for Ames tonight. We hope we've given you some giggles and some thoughts to think. We'll be back next week. Hope you'll join us. Stay ballin', Ames.